In today's video, I'm going to walk you through three major IELTS reading question types and exactly how to handle them step by step. Matching headings, short answer and sentence completion, and diagram labeling questions. By the end of this lesson, you'll know exactly how to approach each one, and you'll stop wasting time during the test. So let's jump right in. Let's talk about matching headings. Easily one of the hardest question types in IELTS reading. But don't panic, I'm going to break it down for you in a really simple step-by-step way. Step 1, get familiar with the headings. Before you even read the passage, have a quick look at the list of headings. Don't overthink or memorize them, just try to get a general idea of what kinds of topics or ideas they mention. Step 2, skim the passage. Do a quick skim through the text to get a sense of what it's about overall. Is it talking about technology, history, health? That's all you really need to do. Step 3, focus on one paragraph at a time. Now, read paragraph 1 and ask yourself, what's the main idea of this paragraph? If I had to sum this up in one short sentence, what would I say? Step 4, match the heading. Then go back to the list of headings and find the one that best fits that main idea. Pick the one that seems right, but keep it flexible. It's just your temporary answer for now. Step 5, double check. Read that paragraph again quickly and ask, does this heading really capture the main idea? If it does, awesome. Move on to the next paragraph. Then repeat the same process for the other paragraphs. Read, summarize, choose a heading, and double check. The key is to focus on the main idea, not the small details. Matching headings is all about understanding the paragraph as a whole, not getting lost in the examples. Now, let me show you a real example. So here we have a list of headings. With this type of question, they usually give you the list of headings first, and then they give you the passage. The first thing we do is look at the list of headings to get a general idea of what they're about. We don't need to memorize them. Just read through quickly to see the main topics. Next, we skim read the entire passage really quickly. We don't worry about the details at this stage. We're just trying to get the general idea of what the passage is about. After that, we start with section A. It might be one paragraph, or it could be 2 or 3 short ones. We read section A and summarize it in our own words. For example, here, this section says that organization is big business, whether it is of our lives, all those inboxes and calendars, or how companies are structured. A multi-billion-dollar industry helps them meet this need. We have more strategies for time management, project management, and self-organization than at any other time in human history. We're told that we ought to organize our company, our home life, our week, our day, and even sleep, all as a means to becoming more productive. Every week, countless seminars and workshops take place around the world to tell a paying public that they ought to structure their lives in order to achieve this. And then it talks, this rhetoric has also crept into the thinking of business leaders and entrepreneurs, much to the delight of self-proclaimed perfectionists with the need to get everything right. The number of business schools and graduates has massively increased over the past 50 years, essentially teaching people how to organize well. What this paragraph is really about is how people today are constantly told and expected to organize every part of their lives, from work and home to even sleep, in order to become more productive. So once we have summarized the main idea, we go back to the headings and check them one by one. So the first one is complaints about the impact of a certain approach. Well, that doesn't fit because the passage isn't a complaint or critic. The next one is fundamental beliefs that are in fact incorrect. This is also wrong because the text doesn't say any core belief or belief about organization is false. It's just describing how common organization has become. Then we have early recommendations concerning business activities. This is again not right. There is nothing about early recommendations or business advice. Organization that puts a new approach into practice. Nope. The passage isn't talking about any specific organizations. It's about a general phenomenon. Next, companies that have suffered from changing their approach. Wrong again. There are no examples of companies failing. Then we have what people are increasingly expected to do. This one fits perfectly. The paragraph talks about how people are constantly told to organize every part of their lives. And to be certain, we can reread the paragraph and check to see whether it matches the main idea of that paragraph. So this is what we do. We read the paragraph, we look at the list of headings to see which one fits. And once we have made up our mind that that's one of the headings is the closest to that main idea, we reread the paragraph again, we skim read it again to check. If we find out that it still matches the main idea of that paragraph, that is our answer. And if we do that here, we find out that it matches the main idea exactly. And just to be thorough and just to show you that the other ones are wrong, let's see why the other headings don't work. The next one, how to achieve outcomes that are currently impossible. Then the text doesn't talk about impossible outcomes or how to achieve them. The next one, neither approach guarantees continuous improvement. Well, the text doesn't compare two approaches, so this one can't be it. The next one, evidence that a certain approach can have more disadvantages than advantages. This is wrong again because the passage doesn't weigh pros and cons. So the best choice is what people are increasingly expected to do. Now we move on to section B and we do the same thing. Read it, summarize it in our own words, check the headings to see which one matches the main idea, then skim read that section again to make sure it fits. We'll repeat this process for all sections until we have answered every question. Stay with me till the end where I'll share a Band 9 strategy for diagram labeling questions. Okay, let's move on to short answer and sentence completion questions. These are all about identifying and using keywords, and you'll usually find two types in each question. Type 1, location keyword. This helps you figure out where in the text to look. Type 2, detail keyword. This tells you what exactly you're looking for, the specific piece of information you need to complete the sentence or answer the question. So basically, one keyword guides you to the right part of the text, and the other helps you find the exact answer within that section. Always underline or highlight both types of keywords before you start scanning the passage. That's what saves you time and helps you stay focused. Now, let me show you some real examples. Here are a few examples. First, read the instructions carefully. This is really important whenever you answer any reading questions. Start by checking the instructions. They tell you exactly what you need to do. For example, the instructions here say no more than 2 words and or a number. So, the first question is, which of the artifacts mentioned are the oldest? So we have to identify two types of keywords, a location keyword and a detail keyword.
The location keyword tells you where to look in the passage, and the detail keyword tells you what to find there. Here, artifacts is the location keyword, and the oldest is the detail keyword. We have to go to the section that talks about artifacts, and there we have to find which ones are the oldest. Next, when was the material Henshill word originally made? So here the location keyword is Henshill word. So find that section, the part of the passage that talks about this material, and the detail keyword is originally made, which tells you what to find, where it talks about Henshill word, and there we have to find out when it was originally made. And the last example, what two common materials did ancient humans use to obtain their ochre? Here, ochre is the location keyword, and two common materials is the detail keyword. We have to go to the part of the passage that talks about ochre, and there we have to find out, we have to find two materials that are used to obtain ochre. That's it, simple as that.
Make sure you check out my previous video where I share 30 Band 9 collocations for IELTS speaking. Now let's talk about diagram labeling. These can look intimidating, but once you know what to do, they're honestly very logical. Step 1, read the instructions carefully. Seriously, don't skip this part. The instructions tell you how many words you can use. It might say one word only, two words, one word and a number, etc. If you write even one word too many, you'll lose the mark, even if your answer is correct, so be careful. Step 2, analyze the diagram. Look at the picture and try to understand it before you even look at the text. Ask yourself, what is this diagram showing? Which parts are already labeled and which parts do I need to complete? And then predict where to look in the text. This is a pro tip. Try to guess where in the text each label might come from. For example, if one blank is near the entrance of a dam, then your answer is probably in the part of the passage that talks about the dam's entrance. Do that for all the blanks. Predict before you search. It saves you a ton of time. Step 4, find and confirm. Now go back to the text, scan for those parts and check your predictions. When you find the answer, make sure it fits grammatically, you have respected the word limit, and the spelling is correct. Now let me show you a real example.
Now let's look at the diagram labeling. Here we have a structure which is a dam. First, we read the instructions carefully. Even if I don't have them here, the process is the same. Look closely at the diagram and understand what it is. This is a dam, and some parts are labeled while others we need to identify. There is the transformer. Inside it is a structure we have to label. There is the turbine, the control gate, and the reservoir behind the dam. Now see what each question asks. Question 1 is about the area behind the dam, which says reservoir or blank. Predict your answer. It will likely be a noun, maybe another name for reservoir. So you have to go to the section that talks about reservoir and find out probably another name for reservoir. Something like intake or something like that. Question 2 or 4, they aren't necessarily in order. For example, question 4 says generator containing blank. We have to go to the section about the generator and see what it contains. Looking at the diagram, numbers 2 and 4 are in roughly the same area. And this is how you approach all the blanks. You predict the type of word, noun, verb, adjective, then find the section in the text that talks about that area, read it carefully, and pick your answer. Make sure it fits grammatically, respects the word limit, and is spelled correctly. If any of these are wrong, you lose the mark. This is why diagram labeling questions are tricky for many candidates.
Now I want to hear from you. Which of these question types gives you the most trouble? Drop your answer in the comments below. Also, make sure you check out this Writing Task 1 playlist where I've shared new Band 9 strategies. If this video helped you, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more IELTS tips, and share it with a friend who's preparing for IELTS. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one.